All I remember is that I was driving my car on my way home, exhausted from work, and it was almost 10 at night. Somewhere along the way, fatigue overwhelmed me, and I involuntarily closed my eyes. In that momentary darkness, my mind was filled with blinding lights, the blaring horn of a truck, and the deafening crash of metal against metal. Then, my consciousness slipped into a dream. I found myself lying on a cold, hard ground in an unknown, pitch-black place. The darkness was so intense that I could barely make out my own hands. Battling intense pain coursing through my body, I struggled to recall what had happened to me or how I ended up in this mysterious location. Determined to find some solace in this desolate place, I mustered the strength to rise, albeit on my knees. The rugged, unforgiving terrain beneath me made every movement a challenge, but I refused to surrender. I crawled forward, counting each arduous step, hoping to discover something useful or find a way out. After approximately 50 steps, an eerie sensation gripped me, suffocating the air around me, making it nearly impossible to breathe. Another 30 steps later, everything returned to normal, but the atmosphere became thick with the pungent stench of blood, as if I had stumbled upon a graveyard for the deceased. In the midst of this ominous setting, a woman's agonizing screams reverberated through the air, soon merging into chilling, demonic laughter. My body trembled with terror, unsure whether these voices belonged to a single tormented woman or multiple entities. Determined to distance myself from the source of these haunting sounds, I decided to change my path. Yet, every road seemed to lead me back to the same relentless cacophony. Eventually, my weary body betrayed me, and I drifted into a momentary slumber. Abruptly, the sound of approaching footsteps jolted me awake. I tried to scream with every fiber of my being, only to discover that my voice had deserted me. In a desperate attempt to escape, I ran blindly, grappling with fear and uncertainty. I vowed to alter my course whenever I encountered peculiar sounds or felt any abnormal sensations. Amidst the darkness, my sight was limited, and trepidation clung to me like a cloak. However, I summoned the courage to press on, telling myself, whenever I hear a strange sound or feel something abnormal, I will change my path. As I sprinted onward, a sudden misstep sent me tumbling to the ground. What I assumed to be a rock, upon touching it, revealed itself to be a severed hand. Panic coursed through me as I attempted to free myself from its grip, but instead, it dragged me towards an unknown destination with an unstoppable force. Desperately, I reached out for something to hold on to, but the unforgiving terrain tore at my back, leaving deep lacerations. Drawing closer, the sinister woman's footsteps echoed in my ears, and as she emerged into the dim light, her face was illuminated. Her eyes glowed with a menacing shade of blue, and her twisted smile exposed blood-stained teeth. Though aged, she bore a resemblance to a woman in her 70s. With an unsettling laugh, she taunted, "Did you think you could escape from me?" Fear gripping my heart, I asked, "What do you want from me? How did I end up here, and what is your purpose?" She replied with chilling certainty, "I am a reaper of souls, my dear, and your soul is mine. Through it, I can maintain my youth. You are like all the others." With a malevolent smile, she continued, "I shall present you with two choices. Surrender yourself and relinquish your soul to me, this is my advice. Alternatively, attempt to flee if you can. But if I catch you, your fate will be beyond your darkest nightmares. The decision is yours." And just like that, she vanished into thin air. In the wake of her disappearance, I resolved to make a desperate escape, running as fast as my battered body could carry me. Fear consumed me, knowing that my life hung by a thread. Suddenly, in the midst of my frenzied flight, memories of my father, who had passed away a year ago, flooded my mind. I couldn't fathom why, but in that moment, he appeared before me, like a guardian angel, and whispered, "I miss you, son. Come, let us depart together." Joy surged through me as I realized that I might finally break free from the horrors that surrounded me. Yet, the anguished cries of my mother and sisters echoed in the distance, pulling at my heartstrings. Compelled to uncover the cause of their grief, I made the decision to return and investigate. Abruptly, I was torn away from that nightmarish realm, awakening from a coma that had plagued me for 3 long years. The doctors had relinquished hope of my recovery, uncertain if I would ever regain consciousness. And so, my harrowing journey in that terrifying coma came to an end. To this day, I remain puzzled about the origins and purpose of that dream, as its enigma continues to elude me.